Hello everyone, here in this video I am going to show you a new feature which I created recently. So on my screen you can see that I have a product page, and here you can see that I have gallery of images. So I have multiple images. The requirement is that instead of displaying all these images, I am interested to display a small button here. So I am going to add a button here. On click of that button, all the images below will display, otherwise it remain hidden, because in that way it will be more easier for the customer to understand and see the details on the right side. Otherwise there is a lot of scrolling, and then after he will able to reach to the bottom. So we are providing an option to the customer that if he is not interested to see all these images, then he can easily toggle the images here. So for example, I have also multiple colors here. So you can see that all the other images are also displaying specific to the color, but instead of displaying all these images, I am interested to display a toggle button. So let me show you step by step that how you can implement this same feature into your store by just following some simple steps. So firstly, you should go back to the dashboard of your Shopify store, and here whichever theme you have chosen, so it will work for actually I am providing this solution as a common solution, so you can use this solution to any theme. Right now I am using hyper theme. If you are using any other theme, then still this feature will apply in that. So firstly, you should take the backup of your Shopify store. Once you have taken the backup, then you can actually start working on that. So for example, right now I am working on this version. So let me click on these three dots, click on edit code. Here you will see that we have multiple folders and files. So in these sections, I will have to find the code of this product page. So basically, if I am inspecting this page, so let me open it up in my desktop view, because I am interested to make it work in the desktop view only. So for example, I am searching those elements here. So you can see that we have multiple div elements. Each div element is representing a specific thumbnail image. So I have to find, for example, I am finding this class inside my. So using Control, Shift and F, you need to search that element class name. So here you can see that we have product media gallery dot liquid, and here we go. Now you can see that this product media gallery list is inside of this. So I am interested to display that option of the button just below this. So for example, this div element completely, which is gallery viewer. So you can right now see this is gallery viewer. So at the bottom of this div element, I am going to display that button. So for example, I am displaying that button right here. So let me add that button. So it will be like button, close button tag, and inside of it, I am writing show images. Okay. Inside of this button, I have to add some IDs and also the click event. So right now I am giving an ID of hide images button, and then I also need to write here on click event, and inside of it I am going to pass a function, so which is hide images, and inside of this I am going to send a parameter. So basically the logic is that I am going to set up a height, so that after that height it should not display the images. So for that I need to find the ID of this div element. So you can see that this gallery viewer template. So here we have gallery viewer template. Let me show you. And here I am adding here section ID. So using this section ID, I will identify this element. So how I will pass that? So you can say that I am going to copy this element here and then pass it inside of this parameter. So in that way, actually I am passing this unique ID of this section to get that specific element. And then after below it, I am going to add some JavaScript code. So using that JavaScript code, I will able to handle all the things. So let me write here. At the end, I will shift this JavaScript code at the bottom. But for now, for understanding purpose, I am writing the JavaScript right here. So this is opening tag and this is closing tag. And inside of it, I am going to call that function which I have just now called, which is hide images, and inside of it I am actually getting the current section ID. So I am writing here current section ID, and then after we have the definition of that function. So let me firstly get that ID, full ID actually. Let full current ID equals to, you can see that we have actually needed this specific ID, complete ID of this div element. So I'm going to copy and paste that here, and then I'm also going to concatenate the other ID which is inside the parameter. So this is the ID which I have just received. So in that way I am getting a full ID of that section. Now what I am going to do here is I am also going to get that button ID, I mean this button click. So I need to get this element. So const then toggle button element, and then after I'm going to write here document dot get element by ID, and inside of it I need to paste that ID which is hide images button, and then after in that way I am actually getting that complete element, and then again I need to write here const toggle button container. So let me show you what exactly this means. So this container means this specific div element I am going to get using this ID. So you can say that we have this complete document.id statement. So I am going to write here toggle button container which is full current ID. So I am going to pass that ID here. All right, so in that way I have this div, complete div element now, and then after I will apply all the changes, which is like if I have that toggle button container, I mean if I have that element, then after what I will do is I will set up a class inside of that. I mean I am actually adding a class, additional class to this element if I am having this container element. So what I will do is I will do something like toggle button container dot class list dot add, and then inside of it I am going to write hide other images. So this is the class which I am interested to put inside of this element, and then after this is one statement. All right, another is that I am also interested to hide this button once it is clicked, because once images are displayed then we don't need this button. Okay, so what I am going to do here is if this button exists, then after I am also going to write here like toggle button element dot style dot display equals to none. So in that way I have actually displayed none, and I also hided all these images. Now what I will do for these images, so let me do one more thing. Let me show you how it looks right now. So for say example I am refreshing this page, and let me scroll down to the bottom, and you will see that we have show images button right here. But currently I have added one class inside of this container, I mean this one, gallery viewer. So where is gallery viewer? So this is the div element. So let's see if that adds a class or not. If I am clicking this, so you can see that hide other images class has been added on click of this button. So that means this logic is working right now. Now I am interested to set up a hide. So how I will do that? Using CSS I can do that. Click on assets, and then I have some CSS to add. So here is my custom.css file, and inside of it I am going to write some code. So how I will be writing the code? I have to separate the code for mobile view and desktop view. Why? Because right now I am interested to display that button only for desktop view. For mobile view, it already looks good. So we don't have multiple images displaying like that way in like we have in the desktop view. So we have to write actually media query. So media only screen and max width should be around 749. So 749 pixel, and then after we have to hide that button for all the images which are lesser than this screen. So right now we have this hide image button, images button. So I'm going to hide it for all the smaller screens. So right now I'm going to write like this and display none. All right, so this is how I have hided it. Okay, then after I have another thing. I am going to add some media query only for bigger screens. Screen and min width 750 for example. So min width is 750 and it can be greater as much as we have. I mean, if we have bigger screens, then still that CSS will apply. So for that, what exactly we are going to do is we are going to control this height of these images. So let me show you what exactly I mean. So basically this is a div element which we have to control. So here is one class. So I am going to add one height to this one. So for say example, I am writing here the height. Let me show you what exactly I mean. So for say example, I am writing here height 200 pixel. So now you can see that this screen is now smaller. If I am increasing it to, for say example, 400, so you can see that it looks little bigger. And if I am adding 700, so now you can see that this is even bigger. So in the same way, I have to set up a height for product media gallery viewer. So the height is, for say example, 750 pixel. But this is not simple height. Actually, this problem is happening because of simple height. If I am adding max height, so you can see that all the other things are also displaying. So we need to set up here max height. So maximum height should be 750. And then after we have to add one more thing, which is product media gallery viewer. But for say example, so you can see that this this class is adding after the click of that button. So what does that mean? By default, the height should be like this, but once the button is clicked, then the height should be bigger. I mean 100%. So in that way, we can say that right now we have this one class. So for that we are controlling max width to 750. But if we have added one class which is this hide other images, then after we will do a different thing, which is we will put max height to 100%. So basically we are going to copy from here and we are going to write 100%. So our height will be max width 100% because we want to display all those images now. Then after we have another thing, which is we have to design our, let me see the changes first. So for example, I am refreshing this page. Now you can see that the images are now controlled. I mean height is controlled. And if I'm clicking on show image, so you can see that all the images are displaying. So, and you can also see that the button disappeared. So that means our logic is working fine. Now we are interested to do one more thing, which is to design that button. So how we will design that button? We have to display it in the center and also need to make a little bit better. So for that, what we are going to do here, we are going to copy this button here And then after, this is actually the ID of that button, so we can say margin 0 auto, so in that way it will go to the center. Then we have to add display block so that it should apply on that. And then after, we have a little bit margin top, so for say example we have it 15 pixel. And then finally we can also change the background of it, but for now I think we don't need to change any background. So let's see how it looks now. So here we go. Now you can see that show images button is in the center, and if I am switching to any other color, still you can see that the button appears. And if I am choosing this color, so you can see that the images, show images button is still there. If I'm clicking on it, all the images will display, and from the bottom it will disappear. So that's how you can implement this SAM feature into your store, because if we have a lot of images, then actually customer will keep scrolling, and on the right side it will be more tough for him to understand all these things. So it is better to have that button so that the customer could able to read all the basic details on the right hand side just scrolling simply. And if he needs to see all the images, then he can able to click that button. Alright, so thank you so much for watching this video. If you are new on this channel, then please subscribe this channel, also like this video. If you have any new feature to develop, then definitely I can help you out in that. I have already given the contact details below in the description, so you can message me. I'm happy to help you out in that. So thank you so much once again. See you in the next video.